Hello and welcome to the Churros y Tácticas Podcast. We are officially in Clasico territory. The next league game is Real Madrid versus Barcelona. What's going to happen? I have no idea. If you ask me, both these two teams kind of look, not at their best right now. A couple injuries spread, around the two camps. Diego Lorijn is here. He's got the gun loaded. He's got his chiringuito hat on. I'm sure he's ready to let some controversies fly. He's been calling out Madridistas, calling us scared, calling us insecure. We're terrified of what's going to happen next week. We'll see, man. A lot of trash talk. We're going to see what's going to happen. A lot of very, 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 very eventful churros. Jam-packed, dense. Coming right up. What's up, Diego? Please tell us how scared we should be for Sunday.
Very scared.
What are we in for? Manita? 6, 7, 8?
Possibly.
Baño?
Otro bañito. I see you guys swimming. I'd say get ready. Get your swimming trunks out.
All right.
Because what I'm seeing from this starstruck Xabi Alonso side is far from impressive, my friend. My eyes were bleeding yesterday. And you saying anything else would be a goddamn I mean, I would hope all Madridistas watching today, we can all at least come to this consensus. Your boys ain't playing shit right now. That is not football. I mean, and we can talk about Barca, also subpar, far from where we were last year. But I think you hit the nail on the head in the intro. Both teams right now looking pretty shaky. And does that set up the most juiciest of Clásicos? Well, a Clásico es un Clásico, always. Madrid, Barça, Barça, Madrid, regardless of the form, always seems to bring out something electrifying, right? These are special games. As I always dub it, the biggest club football match in the world. I don't think that's exaggerating, seeing as there's, what was the last figure? When I was at La Liga TV, where we're saying more than 400 million people around the globe watch this. I'm pretty sure that they have inflated that number since. But, and also I should say that statistically, Kiyan, the ball's in your court. Like I 5 Clasico wins, that's tough. So I'm not.
Has it happened before?
I don't know. 5 consecutive ones. I should check that out, but that's why I was saying. I mean, statistically, there's got to be an end here at some point. So I'm not uber confident. It's not like I'm walking out there sticking my chest out, but just Madrid are not impressive looking. Yesterday's game was god awful.
I would agree with you that Real Madrid didn't perform great yesterday. My question to you would be this: how much of that has to do with playing away to Getafe specifically?
Well, I mean, so I was expecting you to ask me that, and I've been pretty consistent, I would have said, with my evaluation of Xabi Alonso's Madrid so far, saying that most games have been underwhelming, with the exception of, I think it was Osasuna, where I came on the pod and I said I was impressed. I think I even tweeted it. I said this is the best that Xabi Alonso side has looked. Yeah,
I thought Villarreal was good too. Before the
Okay.
international break, that was good too. Yeah,
But most of the games have just not been enjoyable to watch, and I continue to stand by that. I think this was a step backwards, despite the fact that, yes, Getafe away at the Coliseum is always dirt. You're going to get the anti-football for 90 minutes. Sure, that played a factor. And the same way that the ref in the end played a factor and allowed you guys to get the 3 points, because this looked like it was going to be a draw until then.
what do you mean by that last statement? The ref helped.
Well, Xabi Alonso went to the ref
Isn't that his
afterward
job?
and thanked him.
Isn't it
Muchas gracias.
his job
Good
to
way.
make correct calls?
we're gonna sit here and argue about whether or not that was a correct call. You're gonna say it was correct.
The red
I'm gonna
card?
say it wasn't correct. Yeah, the red card was excessive. It was disproportionate. It was
What? The ball was like on the other side of the
Dude,
field, and
that is a yellow card, Kiyan, and you
Come
know
on.
it, bro. Come on.
Come
It's
on.
a yellow card after 30 seconds, 40 seconds that Nyom had been just entered the
absolutely.
game. And you're going to reward a red card, mind you, against the Getafe. Okay, this was super interesting, fascinating, mind you. I didn't retweet it because of our little text exchange yesterday, but I will send it to you.
Okay.
The Getafe, who so far after 9 match days has conceded, I think it was 20 cards in total, 22 with yesterday. So 22 so far in total. So excuse me, 22. So 24 in total, adding the 2 from yesterday. All of them yellow cards. Coincidentally, that's an average of 2.67 cards per game. Here's the point I'm trying to make. The first double yellow and the first red all happened in one game. It happened yesterday, whereas before they never saw a player get sent off. This is a Getafe side that come out like absolute butchers. Guess can't speak for all of their games. My sample size is Barca. Okay, maybe that you can hold that against me. The game that we saw against Barca, no of the Getafe players were sent off. They came out there like absolute butchers. Luckily, that game, our players left unscathed, but injury like tackles, I don't think that yesterday's was the first red card worthy play of a Getafe. That should have been yellow.
You watched all the Getafe games to know that for sure, or you're just looking at those stats?
You can hold that against me, but assumption is, and again, I mainly based that on the game that they played against Barca. That didn't look like it should have been red.
Right. It was a red card. This is not a debate. We've been, first of all, this is the first thing I want to say. We've been begging for protection of the stars in this league because this league has gone to shit with its refereeing. It's gone to shit with the football we watch. And a lot of it is because the refereeing is shit and it doesn't protect its stars. We've been begging for this kind of justice for years, for protection for Vinicius, who was 2 years ago the face of the league. And the entire narrative around him was people can just do whatever the fuck they want to him, and we label him as the villain. Last night was the first time in these 3 years of me watching, it's been more, however many years Vinicius has been in La Liga, starting with him getting bit in the head by an Atletico player in Castilla, and it's been nonstop, just abuse towards him in these 3-4 years that I've been following him. It's been more, 2018, it's been like 6, 7, I don't know. I lost track. Last night was the first time I've seen a referee rightfully protect Vinicius. And Getafe were dumbfounded. They're like, wait a second, we're allowed to break this guy in half. When was this the last few years? Finally, we got some protection and people lost their mind. They showed their true face. They vilified Vinny for all this. Finally, I want to ask your opinion on this. Surely neither of these are red cards, although this one is even more laughable because it's not even close to Lamine Yamal's face or anything like that. Was this a red card to you?
What was it? This is against Espanyol.
Yeah.
What play? This was from like last season or something.
Yeah. Well, you bring in other examples talking about double standards all the time, so I'm bringing this one.
What are you talking about? Bro, you can't do this. Like this was what? The clinch. Because I could also there's like 6, 7, 8 hours of footage that I could bring up right now, bro.
Right. But we both could, and that's the point. We both could, and that's the point.
No,
we
bro.
both could, and that's the point. Is this a red card, this one? Yes or no?
No. This was the punch in Lamine's belly, right?
If I remember it right. This is a punch to you, but
if that's the play that I'm thinking of, yeah, where he unleashes a punch. The same thing that we saw Kylian Mbappe do yesterday. And get nothing for it. And get nothing for it.
No,
dude. Hold on. Chouameni against Lisson in the first 5 minutes and not the penalty get called.
That one should have been a penalty. That should have been a penalty.
Okay.
But you won't find me being bias here. I'm
The,
telling
the
you like
thing
it is.
is,
That
the
should have
thing
been
is,
a penalty.
you're
But hold
calling
on,
this
hold
a
on.
red card.
If you think this is a yellow card, then you also saying Nyom should have got a red card last night. I just want to be clear. Is this a red card? Yes or no?
No, because he punches here, bro. He literally goes like this. Nyom had his arm held out.
No,
He
no, no,
never
no, no.
punches him. It
Nyom,
was not an
Nyom punched
aggression.
his neck. Nyom
No,
punched
no,
his
no,
neck.
no.
Come on,
He
man.
has his hand
Okay.
out. He has his
Okay, I
hand
just
out.
want to
It's
be
not a
clear. Okay.
punch. It's not a
Okay, so
punch.
you're
That's
okay, Diego.
the
I just want to
distinction
be
that we
clear.
have to make. It wasn't an
Diego,
aggression.
no, incorrect. You're wrong about this. It's not debatable. But I just want to be clear because I want to move on if this is the case.
Me too.
If this is a red card and Nyom's not, then that means you're completely lost your mind. Sorry, bro.
No,
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
You go back and look at that clip. You see him punching him not once but twice,
Okay,
and
bro.
Lamine dropping on the second one. That's not the same
You
what
just
Nyom
proved
did
it.
yesterday.
I'm done. I don't want to talk about referees on this podcast ever again. Then I'm done. I'm done. This is
You can be
ridiculous.
done. I can still have my opinion. Like that is different from the punch.
No, that's not an opinion. That's delusion. That's delusion.
Right.
That's not an opinion. You can. It's like you can have your opinion. Look, free speech and all that, but that's my opinion. That's delusion. If you think this is a red card and Nyom assaulting Vinicius off the ball when the ball is
Wasn't
on the other side,
assaulting him.
you can't even see the ball on the frame. Then you're out. You're out of your mind, bro. Sorry, bro. This is crazy.
No, I'm sorry for you. I'm
No,
sorry
this
for
is
you.
Crazy. This is crazy.
Play this,
Crazy.
and look at the replay, and you tell me that he
Multiple
is
times
punching
I have.
Vinny here. You tell me
times I
that
have.
he is punching Vinicius.
It's bro. And I'm telling you right now, we're never gonna talk about referees again because it's impossible. Never again.
Because it suits you.
I'm telling you, if you bring up referees ever again, I'm leaving the room.
Good.
I'm coming back
Good.
after 5 minutes to see if you're done talking, and that's it. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's not
hilarious.
Fair. It's impossible.
hilarious. Do you realize that?
Are you talking about referees right now?
I'm talking about the spreadsheet.
Okay, I'll be back in 2 minutes.
So if Kiyan would, like all you other Madridistas, would actually have a way to open up your minds and look at this objectively, recognize that there is continuously debate being held about certain plays. When it comes to the spreadsheet, right now it's 7 advantages for Real Madrid, 3 against, 2 advantages for Barca, and 4 against. This thanks to Levy, who continues to do an excellent work. Thank you for your patience and your dedications, Lev. Do your thing, my friend. And Madridistas walking away, not wanting to hear it is like the tweet I put out. Monkey doesn't want to hear, doesn't want to see, and doesn't want to say the obvious truth. Don't compare Lamine getting punched in the stomach to what Nyom did with Vinny. Look at the link. I put it in the chat. Ya está. Este niño es un niño grande de verdad. Es un niño grande. ¿Qué vamos a hacer? Never wants to talk about referees again because they're always in his favor. My God. Honestly. Let's talk about football. Let's talk about football.
Oh, yes,
Let's talk about this vulgar football.
Segment is over.
Let's talk about vulgar football. There's no ideas, no rhythm, no enjoyment. I had my goddamn eyes bleed yesterday. A ver. Munuera Madridista is been discussed. I don't understand you walking away. You walking away shows me that you don't. Right. Let me ask you this. Are you proud?
Of what?
Of your team? How you're winning right now? Of how you're playing? Are you guys proud?
No, I don't think so. I don't think anybody just is you know. I don't know what the right word is. I think it's a lot of skepticism. I think there's a lot of people who are worried. I think there's a lot of people who are optimistic, but not sold. I'm in the camp of like, I've seen encouraging things. I've seen the fact that we're getting results, which is important. You're top of the league, you know. If this is the bad version of the team and you're still top of the league, it's in some ways a good sign because you assume that it's just, you know, with a new coach who is taking over a big club for the first time in his life, still trying to find the rhythm, still trying to find the identity of the team, still trying to find his best 11. He has had none of his, like the defensive line has been decimated by injuries. We haven't had our right backs all season. Bellingham's just getting back. So all of these things, you know, you assume that it's just going to trend in a positive direction. I do think the Getafe game specifically, I said this before the game, I said this after the game. It's actually the most difficult game to score in this entire stretch. It's more difficult than Juve. It's more difficult than Barca. It's more difficult than Liverpool. I'm not saying it's more difficult game. Obviously,
No, I hear what you're saying.
Obviously, Getafe are not as good as those teams, but I think it's more difficult to score in. This and the Rayo game were actually two games that I was worried about that we would overlook because we have Getafe at the beginning, Rayo at the end before the next international break. And in between the three games that were circling as the big games, Juve, Barca, Liverpool, back to back to back. So I'm glad this is the type of game that, yeah, the eye test and the performance and the process wasn't great, but it's also one of those games that you just want to get the W and get the hell out of there, which is what we did. Mind you, if you look at the numbers, the XG, the control, the chances, every game that Real Madrid have won, they've deserved to win. You look back at the amount of control, the possession, the chances, it all checks out. But again, big test coming. That's where we're going to measure the team and how good they are. So if you think that Madridistas are like over the moon and like, we're going to come out and win everything this season, we're going to beat everyone and we're going to beat Juve and Barca, Liverpool, I'd be very shocked if you actually found Madridistas who do feel that way. I will say, like, I'm pretty confident, but I'm not here saying that Real Madrid are playing lights out football and they're going to destroy everyone either.
So Xabi has been underwhelming.
I mean, can you say that? He's won every game except one. He's deserved to win all the games he's won. He's dealing with injuries, integrating new players, new identities. I suppose underwhelming is not that harsh a word, so you could use it. But certainly, like, you're not going to judge him based on October 20th either.
Juve should be the easiest. Juve, let's say, this has been talking about underwhelming, not being Juve's season.
Liverpool, I would say you can categorize them in that as well.
Yeah.
I'd also say Barca have been underwhelming too. So I don't know if there's like any team right now who's like, I watched PSG dismantle Barca, but I also watched them the other day against Strasbourg and they tied 3-3. They lost.
I love you say dismantle and we lost by a goal.
It was
dismantle is getting beaten 4-0 at halftime.
Fine. Dismantle was a strong word.
But yeah, I would say QSG is definitely the team in form, like the best team in Europe.
Bayern?
I mean, until I properly have a look, I'm not an avid Bundesliga watcher, but I know that they have improved from last season, as you would have expected, really. Kane seems in formidable form. I think Liverpool is a bit... City still also being not the City that we were used to from over the last decade is, I guess, a surprise, even though Haaland seems to be on point. And when it comes to strikers not being on point, Isak is, I think he scored 1 goal so far. That price tag, I mentioned it to a buddy of mine, Liverpool fan. I was like, you're going to be disappointed, I think, with what you're going to get from Isak for that price, because he's not that kind of a player. Not the Isak that I know.
I'd say like almost no one is worth that kind of money. Let alone Isak, who, with all due respect, is a very, very good footballer. But like, these numbers when we were kids, like the world records or the close to world records of the giant salaries were reserved for players like Zidane and Ronaldo Nazario and people of that ilk. Yeah. But now we got Isak and Florian Wirtz, just being paid like as if they're Messi and Ronaldo. It's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's true. Barca's game against Girona was That was a tough watch as well, man. Like Girona in that first half in particular. Second half was another story, really, but not so much due to the credit of Barca improving massively. Although we did manage to get the sting out of Girona that in that first half could have put, 3 past us. Mind you, by the way, now, and I'll turn the page on that Getafe Madrid, but how funny would it have been if, who was it? Was it Liso in that
Camara at
in
the
the
end,
last? Oh
95th
my
minute.
God. Yeah.
Like I honestly, that
With
would have
9 minutes.
just
Oh,
my
that would have
weekend
been
was
so good.
already like from a football perspective going pretty bad. If that happened, my God,
It would.
I can't even imagine what the discourse would have been based on that one moment, which thank God Courtois. Yeah.
Um, But yeah, so could have Girona taken the advantage in the first half, and in the end, Barca walk away with a win that was needed, but that still leaves so many questions and doubts. And now that the important part of the season really starts, now's when the big games start rolling in, and the fact that we're coming off of the back, of course, of now we win, but before the international break, 2 back-to-back losses against Sevilla and QSG. Now it's really like, okay, there's no time anymore really for hiccups. Not that the season gets decided or anything at this stage, far from it. Barca had that batch in November, December last season, but the fact that there is still a lot of gaping holes in that defensive line, that's an issue. And Flick was asked about it, and you mentioned Xabi dealing with all the missing players. Obviously, that's also the case for Hansi Flick, where there's far too many key important players missing. But how are you going to, in the meantime, try to patch that defensive line that you would have thought Porto in his heyday would have easily gotten a brace in those opening 45 minutes, given the chances that not just him, but the entire Girona front line missed. Oddly enough, Witsel scored the most difficult goal, probably the goal of his career, bicycle kick. That was the only goal that they got. But another team with more talented forwards, one that we could be facing next weekend, could, sacar provecho, could a good advantage, obviously, from, like, you have, you've been licking your chops. You've been saying that on repeat for throughout this entire season so far.
Well, the truth is, I mean, most teams have been licking their chops against Barca this season. If we're looking at it, and I've said this. I mean, I said this last season too. To be fair, when we saw how that went, and I'm saying it again this year, and we'll see how it goes. But I'd honestly shame on Real Madrid if they can't. If Girona can, I mean, Girona didn't get a result, so maybe that's a bad example. But there are between Girona, Levante, and Newcastle, teams that lost against Barca, but should have scored more goals than they did. And then
but the same was the same last season.
No, I don't think so. Last season was last season Barca's offside trap was much more efficient than this season.
For sure. But we still conceded chances.
Yeah, but not as much as this season.
That's fair. Yeah.
So again, I'm gonna reiterate: shame on Real Madrid if they don't. I mean, they literally have the best player in the world right now who's scoring goals for fun. He's quick, explosive. You have the best creator in Europe right now, Arda Güler. He's playing those balls over the top. He's playing them behind. If that tandem, now with Jude back too, can't figure out how to play behind that Barca high line, shame. Get the whip out. If no one else will do it, I'll just go in a room by myself and whip myself. Shame on the club for not.
That'll be on patreon.com/Churros y Tácticas.
That's the exclusive tier. That's exclusive. That's pay to play, guys. That's pay to play. You can't. Not everyone gets to see that.
Daddy needs good money to show that. But Yeah, we're gonna be looking forward to that. I don't know, we meaning me, culés,
Yeah.
because that'll take place this weekend on Sunday. On that note, to you listening, it's gonna be historic, not just because it's the whatever how manyth meeting between the two biggest clubs in the world, but also a historic meeting, the second meeting of the two biggest and most underrated podcast duo, Churros y Tácticas. It'll be live and in the flesh.
Yes.
I'll be making my way over to the nation's capital, and I would like to invite anyone for drinks. No, but maybe a beer or two. I'm gonna let you guys know. Follow me on my social medias, Twitter or Instagram, wherever. At Diego Lorijn. That's with an IJN, LORIJN. I'll be in a bar somewhere, and my idea is to have a chat with culés or madridistas. More madridistas, obviously, I'll be expecting, but I'm happy to have a sit down with anybody that is in town and do a little meetup before we do more churros. We're going to be recording some churros before the game outside of the stadium. Kiyan is going to enjoy me getting verbally abused by his fellow minions.
No one's going to
We
do
will
that.
laugh. We'll have some chuckles, and he will then go off to the game. I will go off to the bar, and then we will meet on Monday again to record some more special content. And like I said, in the meantime, I'll drop the location of where I'm going to be. I would like to get that sorted before. And yeah, anybody is welcome.
So if you guys are going to be in Madrid next weekend, and if you're going to the game especially, like a couple hours before the game, Diego and I will be, the plan is tentatively to go around and interview fans outside the stadium. So if you see us, approach, say hello. We can interview you if you want. We'd love to meet you guys. So just be on the lookout. I know the Bernabeu was wide. There's a lot of circumference to walk around. So, spotting us out may not be that easy, but it should be pretty easy because we'll be in in the main gates. I guess is it Paseo de la Castellana, that main
entrance
strip in front? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just hanging around there. You'll see a camera, you'll see microphones. So just come approach us and say hi. And yeah, we're doing some content from Madrid. Who do you guys got in the Champions League this week?
Olympiacos away. Is it away actually?
No, I think it's at home. I think I remember now because I was like Olympiacos. If it's away, it will be tough. Yeah, at home. Yeah. At home, you guys are fine. And then we got Juve.
It is home,
yeah. Who do you guys got after the Clasico in the Champions League? Just out of curiosity, I just want to see if you're. Oh my God! Can you?
Brugge.
Please look at this schedule for Barcelona. Olympiacos at home, Real Madrid away, Elche at home, and then Bruges. Like what? What is this? How is it you guys always get the benefit of the schedule?
Fuck off. Hey, dude, for somebody that cried and walked away, didn't want to talk about ref, I don't want to hear this.
Oh, that's not crying and walk away.
No,
that's no.
It's hear no evil, see no evil. It's
that's a complete acceptance that you have completely.
No. One is a punch. One is holding a handout.
No, it's not. No. Okay, hold on. You just said that again. That reminded me how delusional you are. Are we going to call a ref? Should I leave?
Let's go. Let's call
it in. Let it be on record that Diego, after watching Nyom,
I'm going to walk away. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it.
Hilarious delusion. All right,
double
guys.
standards.
Thanks for tuning in. I apologize that my co-host is misbehaving like this, but hopefully we can stick to
open your eyes.
Now on, we can stick to football. All right, Diego. We'll see you in Madrid. Buddy. Actually, we got a churros coming up on Thursday.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Patreon.com/Churros y Tácticas. We answer every single question.
Classico
that is
edition, that one, yeah.
Classico preview.
Classico edition. You hear that, minions? Get your asses on Churros on Patreon. Support this podcast. Help us grow. Culés, of course, please do as well in numbers. We depend on you. You are the reason why we are able to continue to do this, and we need a lot more of you. So help us out. Come over to patreon.com/Churros y Tácticas. It's Clasico edition. These are always our biggest pods, Kiyan. We get the best questions. Our numbers spike. They go they hit the roof. So don't miss out. Because a lot of stuff we record over the weekend as well will be behind closed doors for members only.
Yeah. I don't know if necessarily this episode was the best. That's the advertisement for patron content, but
Well, it's Hangover Monday. It's what it is. Sick of this.
Yeah. I was just gonna end with this.
Thank you. Thank
hilarious.
you. He's holding out his and you say that
holding
as a
out his arm for what
holding
purpose?
Out his arm.
And by the way,
look where
the ball is.
Right. Okay, that's fine, but it's not an aggression, Kiyan. It's an obstruction, bro.
Bro, stop it. I know. Like,
you look crazy. You look crazy because there are plenty of Madridistas that have been able to recognize this. I knew I was going to come on this pod and you were going to close your eyes and invent whatever the Maquinaria invents. Honestly, bro.
The craziest of crazies trying to gaslight us.
You are crazy. You are crazy. The crazy is you, bro. You live in a parallel universe in your own bubble of truth.
Yeah, bubble of truth.
Yes.
The truth is objective.
You are in the minority, the vast minority, calling this a yellow card.
Vast
and you're
minority.
At me.
Vast minority. Vast minority. Look at the chat, by the way. Just take a quick.
No, you and your minions, claro. No, listen, you and your minions always win. That's for sure. I'm talking about in the actual world that we all live in, not just your little bubble, your
Diego,
echo chamber.
It's okay. I get
it's
that.
Okay.
It's
okay. I've done this for 8 years, Kiyan. I know my platform. No, all you do is talk. Okay. I know this platform. Okay. I know this platform. I've been doing this for 8 years with you, my friend. You and your minions are always right. You and your minions. That's how it is. But in the rest of the world, everybody sees that this was an injustice, an exaggeration, disproportionate red card. Y ya está. That's it. Nothing else to it. Changed the game a minute after you guys scored in a game that had everything written in it that should have ended in a draw. Y no pasa nada. No pasa res. Seguimos. My friend.
It's amazing that it just keeps going and going.
I'm like
waiting for it to end, but
I cannot see your face.
Over, another word comes out. I'm still waiting.
I cannot see your face.
Oh wait.
I was gonna hang up. I thought you were gone already. You left again crying. No saying. I cannot see. I can only see this still image over here. That proves my point.
Still going.
Goodbye, folks. See you Thursday.
Diego, I get it. I get that it's an act, but even the Chiringuito ones make it at least a little bit believable. They don't just say crazy stuff like you just said. I just want to point it out. Even WWE has its limits.
Talking about.
Even WWE has its limits. Like we kind of know it's an act, but like there are times where it's like I think the act just goes too far. You got to make it a little more believable. You got to I don't know. Like these the rants today were out of control.
Sounds good. Echo chamber. Right. Words coming right back. Okay.
Love you, buddy.
Bye.
Never change. All right. Okay. Bye.